Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hadra Stewart. I'm the head of the languages department at Kingston Technical High School. Today, I will tell you more about the City and Guilds English Skills Program. Let's look at our objectives for today's lesson. By the end of today's session, candidates should be able to correctly answer questions based on a Stage 3 reading and writing specimen paper set on the theme, The World of Music. Candidates should also be able to explain the various types of activities given on a Stage 3 reading and writing English skills exam paper. And candidates should be able to do a subject and verb agreement exercise, of course, a continuation from our last lesson. All right, let's talk a little about our City and Guilds word list that you're already familiar with by now. It says these are lists of words provided by City and Guilds for all 3 stages of the exam and are related to the theme. The words are to expose candidates to the jargon associated with the theme, and this year's theme is media and communications. Candidates are encouraged to become acquainted with these words that they can use in their extended writing task. It is also very, very likely that the candidates will encounter some of these words in the source documents given in the examination. All right, let me just remind you of the grading system for City and Guilds. I know that by now everybody is working hard to get a distinction, so you have to earn anywhere between 85 to 100%. To earn a merit, it's 65 to 84%, pass is 50 to 64, and anything below 50 is a failure. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, now in our last lesson, we spoke about some of the rules governing subject and verb agreement. We spoke about quite a few of the rules, and I'm sure you remember many or all of them. Now I'm going to give you a little quiz to test how much you remember. All right, so let's begin. All right, so the first one, does or do every boy in kindergarten visit the zoo? Remember, we always have to identify our subject, and we're talking about every boy. Remember, every is singular, and we're talking about one boy. So, does every boy in kindergarten visit the zoo? You are correct. One of the courses recommended by many colleges is or are physics. What are we talking about? Are we talking about all the courses? No, we are talking about one of the courses. So one of the courses is recommended by many colleges, and that is physics. How about this one? In many churches all over the country, the number of enrolled members has or have varied widely over the years. Remember, the focus now is on the number. All right, and we said in the last time that we use a singular verb with the number and we use a plural verb with a number. So in this case, it is the number of enrolled members has. All right, excellent. All right, this one says, every one of the dresses and coats is or are selling at half price. What are we talking about? Every one of. Remember that every or everyone is singular. So everyone is selling at half price. Don't be fooled by the of the dresses and coats. Frustration, failure, and lack of opportunity lead or leads to school dropouts. What are we talking about? Are we talking about frustration only? No, we're talking about 3 things. So it's a plural subject. So we're talking about frustration, we're talking about failure, and we're talking about lack of opportunity. So all of those lead to school dropouts. All right, look at this one. Perhaps the best thing about birthdays is or are looking forward to them. What are we talking about? We're talking about the best thing, right? So the best thing about birthday is looking forward to them. All right, excellent. All right, so we are going to explore a Stage 3 specimen paper, and this one is based on the theme, The World of Music. And I know that young people love music. Now, we explored this in the last lesson. We had looked at 1 specimen paper, and today we're going to look at 2 additional ones. Remember, at Stage 3, you are exposed to 3 source documents for your exam. All right? And you know that City and Guilds usually gives you an image or images to go along with whatever reading material that you are using. And the images tell quite a story by themselves. You can look at the image and you can have a very, very clear idea of what the piece of writing is going to be about. And in this case, we're going to be talking about sound clash. So it's Jones and the Jamaican sound clash, and the picture represents just that. So we're going to hear now an interview that was done. So this is source document number 2. This Saturday at Caribbean Village, DJ Indiana Jones and his longtime musical collaborator DJ Danger will be participating in the region's first Jamaican-style DJ sound clash. Jones, aka Ron Minor, has been a major force in the club scene for well over 2 decades. In addition to spinning hip-hop and top 40 beats, he's well known for his connection with Jamaican music. Jones filled me in on the event's significance as well as his own personal history with Jamaican sounds. Can you explain what a sound clash is for our readers who aren't familiar with the term? The simplest way to break it down is to say it's a Jamaican DJ battle. In a sound clash, your sound system competes against 2 or 3 other different sound systems. You start off in the initial round just playing a warm-up mix. Then you go into a round of counteraction between the sound systems. For example, one sound system plays a song, then lets the other sound system respond with a song counteracting. Then there's a counteraction to that, and so on. You have to be on your toes and know what the artist is talking about in each song so that you know what to play next in your response. How is a sound clash scored? It's scored by the judges and the host, but you also have the crowd involved. They look at your interaction with the crowd, the quality of your selections and mixing. You have to interact with the crowd and talk about the competition or talk to the crowd. Just get people excited. What initially pulled you into working with Jamaican music? I had 2 different gravitational pulls. In the early 90s, I met up with a bunch of kids who went to Pike High School that were really into straight-ahead reggae like Steel Pulse, Augustus Pablo, and the Wailing Souls. I wasn't really keen on the dancehall sound at the time, but then Supercat and Shabarangs came with a couple of hip-hop remixes, and that got me interested. When I moved to New York around 93 or 94, I went to a rock lobster-type college bar in New Brunswick. The DJ was playing standard top 40 fare, but then he started playing reggae. Not like any of the reggae I was familiar with. He was playing Cutty Ranks, Beenie Man, and Bounty Killer. In the late 90s in New York, I would DJ for Mark Ronson's reggae sets. A hip-hop DJ would always bring another DJ with him to do the reggae sets or a host set. Really, you were there just to carry their records, but I would get to do my little reggae set. The Sunday night reggae party at the Casbah has been going for 17 years. How has Jamaican music in indie grown since the Casbah party started? It's a totally different thing now. When I started, you had the West Indian Association that had some traditional events going on, but they didn't do anything fun for young people. And here at the end of the document, you have some information. It says a cultural manifesto is now available on Wi-Fi's HD2 radio. Tune in Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 3 p.m. as Nuvo's Kyle Long explores the merging of a wide variety of music from around the globe with American genres like hip-hop, jazz, and soul. So just a little advertisement at the end of this source document. And as I said earlier, this source document is an interview, a record of an interview. All right? So the next thing you will see now on your question paper, you would go over now to section 1. It values 35 marks. And you're to read the documents in the source booklet and answer the following questions. And I just read the second document for you. Now, it says clearly that questions 4 to 7, you always have to pay attention to the instruction. Questions 4 to 7 are about document 2 that I just read. This question values 1 mark. It says in your own words, what is a sound clash? And you can answer it's a fight or a battle or a contest between DJs. Next question says, what is meant by the verb counteract in the text? So you have to go back to the text and look at how the word is used in the text, because remember, most words have multiple meanings, and you always have to look at the context in which the word is used to decide which meaning fits. So in this case, the question values 1 mark. You could have offset, frustrate, or simply work against. Now, here is another exercise that you can be asked in relation to vocabulary. All right, so it says, look up the 3 words in the table below which are mentioned in document 2 and write the definitions in relation, again, to the context. And this values 3 marks. And this is where now you need your dictionary and thesaurus. It says using an appropriate tool. And remember, that is the tool that you will take in the exam room with you. It will not be provided for you. So using the dictionary or a combination of dictionary and thesaurus, find an alternative, a synonym for each word to the context or topic, and you're getting 3 marks. So we have the words collaboration, interaction, and genre, and you are told exactly where in the source document to find these words. So collaboration is in paragraph 1, interaction paragraph 3, and genre is in the text box. Then in the center, you would put your definition in relation to the context. All right, remember that is very, very important. So for collaboration, it means the action of working with someone to produce something, and a suitable synonym would be partnership. Okay. For interaction, the definition, communication or direct involvement with someone or something, and a synonym would be association. Okay. Genre is a style or category of art, music or literature, and a synonym would be type. And if you have done both the definition and the synonym section, you would have earned 6 marks in total. All right? So make sure you pay attention to details. Now, this is source document 2, and everybody knows this beautiful face. And this information is from a blog. And it says, Tessanne joins Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Jimmy Cliff, a role model. And they say that her picture says 1,000 words. And you can look at Tessanne's face and see the joy. Okay. Now it goes. And this is Kingston, Jamaica. The Jamaica Reggae Industry Association, JARIA, congratulated Tessanne Chain on her triumph in the US-based NBC talent contest, The Voice. Tessanne has joined a host of great Jamaican artists such as Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Jimmy Cliff, and many others who have showcased to the world the incredible talent nurtured and developed by the Jamaican music industry and our powerful reverberating one-drop reggae rhythm, JARIA chairman Michael Ibo Cooper said in a statement. Having followed her career from its inception, we had no doubt that she would have distinguished herself in the competition. Jamaicans came to love Tessanne from the release of her hit single, Hideaway, where she displayed the vocal quality, range, and versatility which are the secrets of her success in The Voice, said Cooper, a former member of the internationally popular group Third World. We took particular note of the warmly received insertion of reggae into some of Tessanne's performances, including the awesome rendition of the Beatles' Let It Be, which she and coach Adam Levine delivered in the crowning show, Cooper said. Tessanne's accomplishment will definitely assist in keeping Jamaica in the global entertainment spotlight and hopefully pave the way for other local talents to be similarly recognized on the international stage. It also confirms the critical importance of the creative industries to build brand Jamaica and its vast potential for contributing to our economic development. We must also commend Tessanne on her exemplary conduct throughout the contest. She confirmed that it's possible to succeed while adhering to time-honored values such as humility, courtesy, respect, and decency. In this regard, she has established herself as a positive role model not only to young women in the industry, but to all Jamaicans who are striving for success, said Cooper. All right, so that was that information from source document number 3. And remember, the theme here is the world of music, so everything is related to music. And questions 8 to 11 are about document 3, which I just read. Now, this one that values 1 mark says, who does the blog quote? Who? All right, and the answer is Michael Ibo Cooper. Who or what does the pronoun we refer to? And you get 1 mark for answering this question. So who or what does the pronoun we refer to? JARIA, Jamaica Reggae Industry Association. So you can choose any of the 2. put the phrase pave the way in your own words. So you're being asked now to paraphrase. Remember, you have to understand first before you can paraphrase. And this question values 1 mark, right? So put the phrase in your own words. Pave the way means to prepare something for someone. All right, here we have a multiple choice question. It says, what would be the most suitable caption for the photograph? You earn 1 mark if your answer is correct, and you are to tick the correct answer. Remember, the instruction is always very, very specific, so try as best as possible to do what you are told. All right, so what would be the most suitable caption for the photograph that you saw earlier? Is it award ceremony celebrations? B, third world award success? C, young woman in industry award? D, award for exemplary conduct? And our answer is A, award ceremony celebrations. This question says, question 12 is about all documents. So by now you would have read all 3 source documents. And 12A says, which document is a written record of a verbal interview? All right? If you're not sure, you have to go back and glance at all 3 documents to identify which one is a written record of a verbal interview. Do you remember which one? Of course you do. That's document 2 about the sound clash. All right. Now remember that at this stage, you also have the extended writing. All right? And your extended writing values 35 marks. 35 valuable marks. So you have to make sure that you spend time to plan so that you can earn maximum marks. Now, this question asks you to write a story about someone in the music industry. All right? So it says you're to think about, and City and Guilds is always helping you by giving you prompts. So you may be wondering, who am I going to write about? What am I going to say about this person? What kind of story do I want to create? So think about who the musician is, and it can be fictional or real. So you can write about somebody you know, or you can just make up an artist, all right? Now, what challenges have been faced in his or her career? Remember, every good story has a conflict or conflicts, okay? How the person overcame those challenges. We want a hero in our story or heroine in our story, all right? So we're going to talk about how the person overcame the challenges. You must use at least one of the images below. So City and Guilds is going to provide you with some images. And you must use at least one of the images below and include information from at least one of the source documents. So sometimes you're told to use information from the source documents. Sometimes you're told not to. So it's always important that you pay attention to the instruction given. We suggest that you write about 300 to 400 words, and yes, you're going to write in paragraphs, and I would hope that you would include some dialogue in your story, and of course, you know that you have to put your dialogue in quotation marks. And try as best as possible to keep your dialogue in standard English, seeing that this is an English exam. If you do use Creole in your dialogue, make sure it is minimal. All right, so you will be tested on planning your writing, and it should indicate the key points and ideas, using format, structure, and language suitable for a story, summarizing in your own words the main points and ideas from the documents in the source booklet, right? Using the images to add meaning to your story. So you will see the images in a little while, and then you will decide which ones you want to incorporate in your story. And make sure that when we read your stories, we see which one of the pictures you have used and how those pictures are fitting nicely in your story. I shouldn't read your story and then at the end of it I'm asking, which picture did this person choose, right? It should be very, very clear that you chose picture 1 or picture 2, because I should see it incorporated in your story quite beautifully. All right? Presenting relevant information and ideas logically, so make sure you give us the information in a logical manner, in a manner that makes sense. So we want a story that is enjoyable, that is entertaining, that is easy to read, that is memorable. All right? It's very, very important that you write in sentences and in paragraphs. Remember that every sentence must be properly punctuated. And we've already spoken about the end punctuation marks that we use. It's either your full stop, your question mark, or your exclamation mark. So make sure every single sentence is properly punctuated and write in paragraphs. So we're going to indent, so we're going to move away from our margin whenever we are starting a new paragraph. So we're going in a new line and we're going to indent. Spelling and punctuation should be accurately done. You are going to get marks for proper spelling and punctuating, and you're going to lose marks if you don't do those properly. Make sure that you use correct grammar, all right? Now, these are the images, right, that City and Guilds provides, and you're to tick the image or images that you are using in your story. So you may know one or two of the faces here. So what you can decide, you can change the character's name, right? You can give the character a name for himself or herself, right? But make sure that it is related to, remember, it is supposed to be about an artist, so make sure you tell a very memorable story and you talk about the challenges or the conflicts, and then we get into the solution, all right? Now, practice, practice, practice. I cannot say it often enough. Believe me, it works, okay? Always realize that you can get better. Every time you do something, you should do it better than the time before. So the more you practice is the better you get at it. Your best work has not yet been done. Tell yourself that, right? If you did not get 100%, it means that your best work has not yet been done. So we keep practicing until we get it perfectly, okay? Practice, practice, practice. You are at home. I know you have classes in the days. In the evenings, you may not be timetabled for classes, so you have some time on your hands. Go on the website, go through those past papers, practice, send the information to your teachers, and when you get the feedback, you act on those feedback. So this quote is coming to us from Les Brown. Continue to prepare for your exams and do keep safe.